This is my third time recording this because the first time I didn't have my mic hooked up, and then the second time I didn't hit record. I don't know if I'm cut out for this, but I'm in here. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna record this video. Hi friends, my name is Hayley Brunner, and I would like to welcome you to my corner of the internet. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I just wanted to make a really quick video about how I have been navigating quarantine. I personally have been in some sort of a rut, and I suspect there are many other people out there, and I just wanted to share what I've done that has helped me. I'm not going to say that I am out of my rut, because baby, we're still in this. We've still got some time to go. And these things kind of ebb and flow sometimes, and that's okay. But I did just want to share a few things that have been really impactful to me and have really helped me throughout this really weird and crazy time. Yeah, before I talk about any of these, I do want to emphasize I am not any kind of medical professional. I'm going to be talking about a few things that many medical professionals have helped me with, and it's been a personal journey for me. I definitely recommend to work with a therapist or a primary care doctor to address specifically what's going on with you. There might be some underlying things going on that mindfulness on its own isn't going to be able to correct. They can Nancy Drew it and help you figure it out. Some of these might require money, some of these might not. I know that a lot of the people that have been most impacted by this quarantine are those who have also been heavily financially impacted by this situation. So I'm happy to say that most of these do not require money. But to first just get one that does require money out of the way, it is therapy. Therapy has been enormously important in my life. So I actually have two therapists that I see. I see a cognitive behavioral therapist once every 2 weeks. She's who I talk to about my day-to-day concerns. She knows me really well because we are in touch with each other a lot. She's able to help me see things in a different perspective. She's able to help me lay out some actionable items and some homework for me to do. My other therapist is a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and she actually has the credentials to help me with my medicine. So I will see her every 3 months or so, and she'll just talk with me about big picture, see how my medicine is working, and make any adjustments if necessary. Medicine has also been a big part of my bigger journey. I don't want to talk a whole lot about that in this video, but I will say it has really changed my life. It can be kind of scary starting those out, but it was absolutely the right thing for myself to do. All the chemicals we have in our noggin are a lot different, so it might not work for everybody. But if it's something you've been thinking about, talk to a health professional about it. Although therapy can be cost prohibitive, I do want to mention that there are some therapists who work on something called a sliding scale, where you can pay less money if you do not have the resources. I don't have personal experience with that, but I do know that my therapist has that option for some people, so that is definitely something to ask about. If anybody has any tips for finding a low-cost therapist or just finding a therapist in general, please leave that down in the comments because I know there are so many people that could benefit from that information. One thing I will say, if therapy is just not an option, if you're not able to fit that into your budget at all, I really recommend journaling. I subscribe to a journal called Silk and Sonder. They are themed every month. This month for July is passion. There was one for gratitude recently. They are really lovely because it's like a bullet journal that you don't have to personally curate. I want to say this goes for about $15 a month, which is kind of a lot, but it has been something that has really been helpful to me. So that's where I justify it. The good thing about journaling, though, is you don't have to pay a subscription to participate. You can make your own journal. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be someplace that you can collect yourself and reflect on what's going on. If you can't make it to therapy, I really recommend starting to journal. It doesn't have to be a whole lot every day. Really, all I'm doing in my journal right now is making sure that I'm taking my medicine. I'll also write my one daily task in there, which is a great segue into my one task. So I have started doing this recently where I have one thing that I need to accomplish in a day. Just one thing. It can be as small as answering an email that you've been putting off. Maybe it's doing laundry. Maybe it's just taking care of yourself, taking a shower, brushing your teeth if you've gotten to that point, and that's okay. But you've given yourself that one thing, and that's what you're going to do today. And it has really been helpful for me. Maybe you feel like you haven't been as productive lately. Boy, I haven't been as productive. That's for sure. I've started to build my productivity back up because of some of these habits that I have been implementing. But at the beginning, certainly, my productivity just wasn't where it needed to be. So the next point that has been really helpful to me is keeping my eyes on the horizon, keeping my eyes on the future. Presumably, this isn't going to last forever, right? Like, this isn't going to last forever, is it? Please tell me it's not going to last forever. But jokes aside, leaning back in on your personal goals, your passions, your projects, what you have in your 3 to 5 year plan, that is going to lift you up and let you know that there is something after this. It has been really helpful because it's really lifted me up, reminded me what my path is or what I have envisioned for my path. It has allowed me to put this situation into perspective. So thinking about the future has positively impacted my mood, but it has been more impactful for my finances. When everything started hitting the fan in March, I took to online shopping. It is my crutch. It is what I do when I'm feeling anxious or sad or not enough or lonely. I don't have a lot of self-control when it comes to shopping. But what this has allowed me to do is to look at my purchases and ask myself if it is going to serve my goal. And if it doesn't serve my goal, I don't buy it. Of course, it's really important to take care of yourself, to do things that make you happy, do things that bring you joy, and don't think that this means you can never spend money ever again. But for me personally, it's helped me with those over and above frivolous purchases that were really bringing me down. Get out of here. Come here, Dottie. Come here, Dottie. No, the mom. Come here, Dottie. Oh, come here, Dottie. Oh, Dottie. This is my Dottie. Squeezing a pet has also been very helpful to me as well. All right, there you go. You want out? This next one you've heard 100,000 times, but I'm going to reiterate it again from my perspective, is exercise. Exercise has changed my mood. It's funny because one of my therapists, when I last saw her, I was telling her I really wasn't feeling great. I was just focusing on making sure I took my medicine every day. And she asked me about exercise. And I was like, yeah, I'm not the greatest at exercising. And the way she told it to me was, you need to be just as concerned about getting exercise as you are about taking your medicine. It's that important. And again, I'd heard it a million times. I was like, okay, well, I need to do this though. She specifically referred to any kind of cardiovascular or high intensity interval training as a form of exercise. Again, you know your body the best. Talk to your doctor before implementing anything like that. I'm going to say it a million times because I don't want to get in trouble. I will say that I haven't always enjoyed exercise. I would say only the last year or so is when I've started to enjoy exercise. My partner is a personal trainer, and whenever we first started dating, I thought, well, this isn't going to work because I hate exercise. Thankfully it did, but not because of my athletic ability. Whatever you do, just make sure it's something you enjoy and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Your body is perfect, and exercise should be more about making you feel great. Always, always. Easier said than done because of the society we live in, but keeping your mood in mind while you're engaging in exercise can be a better motivator. But for my experience personally, it has elevated my mood and it has given me something to look forward to every day. And I do think that I've actually been performing a little bit better at work as well since I've started doing some kind of cardiovascular exercise every day. I am on a indoor bike, and that's how I've been getting my exercise. This could be as simple as taking a 20-minute walk or run, or if you have a bike, riding it around your neighborhood, anything like that. I also want to encourage you to go easy on yourself. We are going through a trauma as a country, and it's okay that you're not being a superstar at work every day like you're used to. It's okay that maybe you are eating more frozen pizza than before. It's completely and totally okay. You have to go easy on yourself and recognize what you're going through. You also have to think about the ebbs and flows that you might be feeling. You might be on top of the world every few days and then not feeling as great other days. Also normal. I feel like at the beginning of this quarantine, it was almost like vacation a little bit because I wasn't having to commute. I was enjoying working from home. And then since that time, I've experienced some lows and some highs. And I expect I will hit another low, honestly, any minute now, especially for those who menstruate. This is also something you can pay attention to. I actually track my period and my moods the best I can just to kind of give myself a little bit more perspective, because sometimes for me, it can kind of help me to realize like, okay, I should be near ovulating right now, or I am about to start my period. So maybe that's why I'm feeling a little bit down and I can't explain it. Perfectly normal, perfectly okay. Next, who are you? Who really are you? You have a lot of time to sit with yourself, to sit with your feelings right now. I've really actually enjoyed getting back to the basics of myself. What do I really enjoy? Being able to deposit my energy into that a little bit. And what really brings you joy that you can accomplish during this time? Do you like art? Do you want to consume art? Do you want to make art? Do you want to start a blog? Maybe that's accessing your creativity. Maybe that's challenging yourself intellectually. Maybe it's something you've been feeling a little bit too busy or too afraid to try. This is a great time to do that. So think about that. Who are you? Who do you want to be? I don't know, the possibilities are really endless there. It probably sounds pretty basic, but I feel like there are so many things that are so basic that I don't give enough energy to. In my case, I really am a people person. I love to be around my friends. I really feed off of others' energy. I enjoy making people laugh. And so I started playing video games on Twitch for an audience, and it's been really fun. I've made a lot of friends already in the past couple months that I've been doing it. It was scary because I didn't think that anybody wanted to hear what I had to say, but it's actually been a really fun and rewarding hobby. And at the end of the day, if all you need is a distraction, that's perfectly okay. Do you love books and it's been a really long time since you've had the opportunity to read as much? Could be cost prohibitive, but I'm a librarian. I'm an academic librarian. I'm not a public librarian, but I still know that you can get a lot of free books through your public library. I know in Texas, there's also the Houston Public Library, which every resident of Texas can sign up for a My Link card and access digital materials that way. The Libby and Hoopla apps are two that you can hook up to your library card and receive digital materials as well. So audiobooks, or if you have a Kindle or anything like that. Highly recommend digging into some books during this time. And if it's outside in the outdoors at like a park away from people, that's even better. I realize a lot of these are kind of more on the hippie mindfulness side of things, but just bear with me for a second. After I exercise or at the end of a long day, I have found myself laying in bed about to go to sleep and thanking myself, reflecting on what I've done for myself and saying, Hayley, thank you so much for going to exercising. I know you hate exercising, but listen, you did that for you and you feel so much better and you did that. Thanks so much. That sounds so cheesy. I'm so sorry, but it's who I am. I'm sorry. So at the end of the day, just wrap yourself up and say thank you. Another note is I also want to acknowledge and extend that this quarantine is probably a lot more painful for people of color who have really had to endure a heightened sense of white supremacy. I mean, I know it's always been on your mind and something you've always had to deal with, but in the middle of a pandemic, after many traumatic events happening back to back to back, I acknowledge that this must be extra difficult for you. And something I would like to know more about, if any of you have any advice for specific resources for people of color, as far as counseling, as far as mindfulness, I really encourage you to comment that down below because it can really be helpful to a lot of people right now. Probably a lot of resources that I have no clue about. But I'm here to tell you that the work you're doing is important, it's valuable, and we're all going to come out on the other side better humans, hopefully. Some days I feel more hopeful than others. All that to say is this is hard, and it's okay to not be 100% your best every single day. Give yourself some grace. Thank yourself for showing up, but it's certainly a reason to be nicer to each other. These are just some things that have been in my brain, but I'm really curious about what has been helping others. If you have something that's been really helpful for you, please comment it down below because maybe there are some other people that would really find value in your perspective, your thoughts, your habits, what has been helpful for you. So let me know. Did any of this make sense? Do I make sense? I don't think I'm great at speaking. And until next time, I think that's all I have for you. If you ever want to hang out virtually, of course, you can find me on Twitch and on Instagram if you want to send me a new direct message and chat. I love making friends. Would love to be your friend. All right, thanks so much for watching. Sending you a socially distant virtual hug.